Hey guys, welcome to the Fight-ish channel. Anthony Joshua said, Eddie Hearn says heavyweight refusing easy fight, wants to face Deontay Wilder or Joe Joyce in interim bout. Anthony Joshua is prepared to fight heavyweights Deontay Wilder or Joe Joyce in an interim bout with UFC champion Oleksandr Usyk. Promoter Eddie Hearn explained the situation on the 5 Live Boxing podcast, saying, if we can't fight him in May or early June, we would like an interim fight before we go into the Usyk fight. AJ's idea of an interim bout is very different to mine. An interim bout while you are waiting should be a nice little stroll in the park. He is messaging me saying, what about Wilder? What about Otto Wallin? What about Luis Ortiz? What about Joe Joyce? But this is AJ all over. He is like a caged lion. Joshua, 32, has an offer outside September when he lost his WBA Super, IBF and WBO world titles to Usyk, and Hearn said that although there were several options, his fighter was not interested in an easy fight. The most important thing is he rematches Oleksandr Usyk. He's turned down a lot of money, not to, and he's not about to let the opportunity go, added Hearn. I think now is the time to have an easy touch. He doesn't. He wants to prepare. Maybe Ortiz, maybe Wilder in that southpaw, gearing him up for Usyk. I expect if he does have an interim, knowing Anthony Joshua, it will be a real fight, said Hearn. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard, absolutely every day, and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Otto Wallin eager to face Anthony Joshua next. I strongly believe I would be the best option. The Swedish heavyweight went 12 rounds with WBC champion Tyson Fury in 2019. Swedish heavyweight Otto Wallin has put himself forward to face Anthony Joshua, where the next fight date is unknown. Joshua is currently preparing for a rematch with WBA, WBO and IBF World Heavyweight Champion Oleksandr Usyk, but with a date yet to be set, Joshua could have a fight in the interim, as he looks to stay active. One fighter that has put himself forward is Wallin, who believes he is the right man to help Joshua prepare for Usyk. I strongly believe I would be the best option, simply because I think that Joshua would want an opponent to help him prepare for Usyk. Wallin told Vegas Insider, I'm a southpaw and I fight somewhat similar to Usyk. That's not easy to come by. If I was Joshua, I would look at who's similar to Usyk. I would say Parker is more like Usyk than Joe Joyce. But he is another southpaw, and Joshua already beat him. Luis Ortiz doesn't fight like Usyk. He's been knocked out twice by Wilder, and he was dropped by Charles Martin. I have proven myself to be a very worthy opponent at the highest level. I gave Tyson Fury his hardest fight and sent him to the hospital to get 47 switches on his eyes. I honestly believe it will be a war. We had 2 wars in amateurs where he got decisions in both fights that couldn't gone either way. We also spared 145 rounds before he fought Charles Martin, and even though it was sparring, nobody wanted to give an inch. My message to Eddie and AJ is simple. If Joshua wants a real fight against the most worthy and stylistically best opponent, it's me. Wallin also expressed his confidence in meeting Joshua, claiming that it might be the right time to face the 33-year-old. I think the timing is good for me, Wallin said. I agree that Joshua seems a bit lost, and even in interviews, he doesn't look like himself like how I used to see him. Maybe it's good or maybe it's bad. Time will tell, Otto Wallin said. Danger. He will probably get chinned. Froch warns Anthony Joshua to stay away from interim fight against Deontay Wilder. Froch is advising Anthony Joshua to stay away from Deontay Wilder when picking his opponent for an interim fight if his rematch with Oleksandr Usyk is delayed. AJ has a contractually bound second fight with Usyk, the man he lost his WBA Super, IBO, IBF and WBO heavyweight titles to in September of last year. Joshua still intends to fight in that time frame and has shortlisted potential opponents for Hearn that include former WBC heavyweight champion Wilder, Joe Joyce, former Tyson Fury fighter Otto Wallin, and the veteran Luis Ortiz. According to Eddie Hearn, Wilder would be AJ's top choice, but Froch, a former three-time super middleweight champion, says Joshua should stay away from Wilder, even though he would love to see it. Business point of view, don't fight Deontay Wilder because you will be probably going to get chinned. He's a massive puncher, said Froch. There is a chance you will get chinned. If you catch one on the chin, you are going over, Froch said. I don't care if your name is Anthony Joshua or whatever your name is in the heavyweight division, he can knock you out with one punch. Tyson Fury nearly found that out a couple of times, so yeah, I understand why Eddie Hearn said it's a dangerous fight, but it's a great fight for the fans. Go on and jump and dare with Deontay Wilder, we all want to see it, said Froch. Carl Froch said in interviews on the day that he believes Joshua is capable of winning the fight, it's just the risk that it represents. As Ray Joshua has the rematch with Usyk set in stone. But what would another loss do to the two-time heavyweight champion legacy and star power? Then again, nobody could accuse Joshua of ducking fights or not seeking the best challengers if he did take on Wilder, the same way he decided not to sidestep Usyk in the first place. The head of the Matchroom Boxing promotion company Eddie Hearn once again accused the WBC World Heavyweight Champion Briton Tyson Fury of disrupting the unification bout with the Ukrainian Oleksandr Usyk. We had a fair game, but Fury said he didn't want to fight Usyk. After that, we presented everything as is that Tyson doesn't want to fight. He said that he was too passive to fight with Usyk, even though he had just had a duel with Wilder. But all the fighters were inactive. Joshua boxed once a year because of the pandemic. Everyone was inactive, but Fury felt that he should have an intermediate fight before meeting with Usyk, that's all. In any case, it doesn't matter anymore. This is yesterday news, and I just wish everyone all the best, Hearn said. The head of the Matchroom Boxing promotion company Eddie Hearn believed that the WBC World Heavyweight Champion Briton Tyson Fury doesn't have a knockout blow, and two early victories over Deontay Wilder occurred only because the American was tired. If you look at Tyson Fury's career, you will see that he has never been a famous puncher. He stopped Deontay Wilder, and it's fantastic. We saw a great performance from Fury, but in fact, Wilder doesn't have the strongest chin. It wasn't about Tyson's strength at all. Fury crushed him because Deontay Wilder tired. Ask anyone, and you will hear that Tyson Fury doesn't have a strong punch. He was never known as a heavyweight puncher. Tyson is an amazing fighter, he's very smart, but he can't hit hard. If you look at his performances, you will see that he has never been a fighter who can knock out his opponent with one punch, Hearn said. Former world champion in two weight categories Ricky Hatton believes that Dillian Whyte will do everything possible to defeat the WBC World Heavyweight Champion Tyson Fury. According to Hatton, Dillian has waited too long for his opportunity and will try not to miss it. Dillian boxed in front of a big crowd, but this will be the most massive fight of his career. Still, I don't think it will embarrass him, because he is a determined person. Whyte has been the main contender for the championship title for a long time. He is waiting, stays in the gym and is hungry. All this shows that he is a very determined fighter, Ricky Hatton said in an interview. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.